Remember the story of the people of Nuh. Alayhi wa ala nabiyyina as-salatu was-salam. These people, they were righteous people, 10 generations after Adam. They all worshipped Allah, they were righteous people. Among them were some very righteous, like very religious people. And those people, like everyone, they died. And when they died, the Shaytan came to their people who were left behind and said, don't you miss them? They said, yeah, these were righteous people. They used to remind us of good and they used to tell us to do good and they were inspiration for us. We miss them. So Shaytan says, why don't you put a picture so you can remember these people and you'll remember the good they did and you'll remember how they used to worship Allah and you can be inspired. So in your majlis where you all sit together, put a picture of one of those righteous people. And then afterwards, the Shaytan came after a while and said, pictures don't cut it. If you made a statue, you would really connect yourself as though they were there in front of you. So they made a statue. But of course, they didn't worship the statue or pray to the statue or make dua to the statue, nothing. Then the Shaytan came to their children and said, your fathers used to worship these statues, so you should worship these statues to get close to Allah, not worship them instead of Allah. You should worship these statues to get you close to Allah. And this is how idol worship entered into the world. Shaytan is willing to play a very long game. He's willing to wait, not just to misguide you, even if he doesn't get you, he'll get your kids. If he doesn't get your kids, he's willing to get your grandkids or your great-grandkids. He's willing to take his time and he's willing to vary his method and to adapt his plots. And that is why the Shaytan doesn't use the same plot with the abid as he does with the fasiq or the asi. So here you have a worshipper and you have a sinner. The Shaytan wants both of them in the fire. So what does he do to the sinner? He encourages him to do more sins and more sins and more sins and bigger sins and everything like that, kindles his desires. But the abid is a worshipper. He doesn't have that desire to do that haram. So instead, the Shaytan comes to him from the root of bid'ah, to worship Allah in a way that the Prophet ﷺ didn't do it, because then you're going to really feel the spirit of ibadah, of ubudiyyah, of servitude. And so the abid has a different plot to the asi. The worshipper is different to the sinner. And even yourself, when you leave a sin, maybe the Shaytan calls you back to it. Maybe the Shaytan leaves that sin for you and takes you to something else. He doesn't stop. So you mustn't stop trying to resist the plots of the Shaytan.